Hello to my Pisces. Happy full moon to my Pisces. Talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth chart. Happy full moon. This reading is for the 12th. You may be watching this video on the 11th. And the 11th, obviously we know 11 is a master number, but you're watching this video on, this video is for the 12th through the 19th. Yep, 12th through the 19th. I believe everybody's full prediction video is up on the Patreon side. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it, Pisces. Let's go. Talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth chart. All right, we are in the year of 9. All right, in the year of 9, let's go. All right, let's set the tone. The sun is medicine, right? The sun is medicine, right? So yeah, the sun is medicine. That big medicine ball out there. And also operating in your sun sign is medicine. It could feel like medicine, actually. It could feel like medicine operating in your north node. Could feel like medicine. Could be very, very healing. All right, let's get into it. Let us get into it. 994, honor goals. So examine your current opportunity. So it's time to redirect, to make decisions that honor your goals rather than short-term gratification. So the current opportunities presented to you need careful examination. So consider at this moment how your current daily activities feed into your long-term visions. Ask yourself now if they will help you or hold you back from your ultimate dreams and goals. 994. So it could be two things that you're closing out. So 9, right? Two things that you created, because 9 is the creativity, but two things that are ending, right? And then for you, it's the number 4 is an earth number. So earth, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Two things that you could be ending, but also number 4, which is light side of 4, is you're still a divine being of light who's had a human experience, right? So you're honoring your goals, operating in your north node. And it does feel like medicine when you're operating in your north node. So we have full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. So some things were uncovered about your creativity, just like in that last cycle that we had. For everybody, not just you, Pisces, but for everybody. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. See what's in your cards. Talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth chart. You're having a tower moment. Having an awakening. An awakening. Right. Here we have the 10 of Cups here. Somebody's having an awakening. Somebody's having an awakening about how people feel around, about people, just kind of so how people feel about people in same-sex relationships. Somebody's starting to have an awakening how people jump to conclusions about people in same-sex relationships. How people automatically jump to conclusions about people who are, and how shady they are. Yeah, so you're freeing yourself from something. Yep, you're freeing yourself from something, right? Because this caused some kind of emotional wounding. It made some people feel left out of some things, right? It made some people feel worthless, right? Here we have the nine of Wands here. Something you're definitely not going back to. Something you're definitely not going back to. Yep. Here we have the 4 of Pentacles here. So I feel like, you know, you're learning how to be a little bit more conservative with your time, because people really feel some kind of way about, and these are people that you felt like you've had sacred relationships with, you feel like you've had sacred bonds with, and you've had conversation with these energies, you've been around these energies, you feel like you had an emotional connection, but you didn't realize how shady people were and how they really, like how deep some emotions have gone. Some of these emotions go back to some people's childhood about how they really feel about same-sex relationships. That's what this is right here. And just how shady and the lengths they can do to keep people out in the cold, and how they feel about people and the stuff they talk about behind closed doors. you know, to make people feel worthless, and they don't care how cold they are around people's kids, like around people's kids. Just like the stuff that they say, you know, and just how just something was just heartbreaking, and the stuff that they were just talking about, right? And so those are karmic relationships, right? So this is the year of number 9. 9 is death, rebirth, but something was uncovered. Something was uncovered. What was concealed has now been revealed about how people feel about same-sex relationships, even if they are children of same-sex relationships. If they have family members who have same-sex relationships and within their family, how deep-seated some kind of anger, rage, or divided some people feel, or anger or something, the shade goes, or they could have been feeling like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, or being bullied, or whatever. Something goes real deep, of the dark side of 8, succumb to passive and powerless behavior, or egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. Like something goes real deep, with some emotions, and how people are baited into things and people switch up. I mean, it's just like something goes really, really deep, of just some level of disappointment, of something that, something of just how shady people can be. So I feel like you have some kind of a soulmate, some kind of a soul connection, some kind of a kindred spirit. Yeah, so here we have the Hermit card. So I feel like you're in hermit mode. I feel like you're in hermit mode. Just kind of, like I said before, kind of in hermit mode. And whatever anxiety you may have had is going to be going away very, very soon. Right? So you're getting some downloads, some messages that's coming through, but I feel like you're in hermit mode. Right? It's 2 vain and vengeful spirits that you've dealt with. 2 vain and vengeful spirits that you have dealt with. Libra could be involved. 2 Taurus could be involved. Virgo could be involved. An Aries could be involved. A Scorpio could be involved in something. So somebody was an open book. Fire sign, a loved one, or somebody. Is 2 energies, but we're kind of an open book about something. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. And it could have been an open book because of today's climate. Like people are not as closed about, you know, expressing themselves about interracial dating or same-sex relationships, or, you know, polygamous relationships. They're not really closed as maybe they once were years ago. People feel like if they're all sitting around having warm fireside chats and people being shady and stuff like that, and just, I mean, baiting people into conversations about stuff. So source is saying to you, here we have the certain things you won't be talking about anymore. Certain things you won't be talking about anymore. Yeah, here we have, because you were at a crossroad, or you could be at a crossroad trying to make a decision about some things. And source is saying you're going to be actually taking a high road, right? Yeah, actually taking a high road. And just feeling like you have a whole new lease on life moving forward. Feeling like you have a whole new lease on life moving forward. So it could have been some kind of a religious organization that baited you into some kind of a conversation around something, that was obsessed with something. You're starting to see something from a higher frequency at this point. You're starting to see something from a higher frequency at this point. So you're trying to stay focused. Trying to stay focused. Somebody was baited into something, and you now know. You know, you don't just have an idea. You know for certain That was a religious organization. All they was looking for was a victory, a quick victory. Looking at this right here. So you and somebody will never be going back to something, right? Because those are considered as karmic relationships. So karmic relationships, just so everybody knows, are any energies with unresolved issues. So it would be considered as like, and I'm gonna see if I can like having that friend who you keep giving advice to. Let's say you work with somebody who they keep going back to that significant other. It's just because there's so much fire here in the cards. Let's say they just keep going back to being in survival mode in a relationship, and you're just like, okay, this person doesn't realize that that person that they're with got some unresolved issues. They got rage, anger issues, and they somehow keep going back. And somehow you being connected to them keeps your anxiety level on 1,000 because you're so worried about them. You're like, oh my God, it's actually causing you burnout. Like every time the phone rings, you're just jittery because you just feel like, oh my God, I don't know if the phone ring this time. You know, I don't know what kind of phone call it's going to be because I don't know if it's them, and it could be man or woman. I don't know if it's them calling because do I need to hurry up do I need to sleep in my shoes? Do I need to sleep with my clothes all on? Because I don't know if I need to jolt out of the bed and race over somewhere. What is this going to be the phone call this time? Like, that's a karmic relationship. Like somebody somewhere has some unresolved something going on and somehow roping you into some stuff. Those are karmic relationships. That was the year 8, right? This year 9, this is the year of 9. So something has ended and it's throwing a lot of people into panic mode that they are not somehow keeping people energetically tied to them. So they're getting as many people familiar with people who they know are no longer energetically tied to them. That's family members, friends, whomever, they know good and well. So that would be like in that example there, Pisces, it would be like, okay, let's say for instance, that friend that you work with who you know was energetically tied to, and that friend could be man or woman. I don't want to put the gender on it. That person that who have these unresolved issues, they will not go get help for whatever. They won't deal with their shadow self of this anger, rage, whatever the issue is. That energy now feels necessary to call you because they know that person is never coming back. So they somehow got your number from somewhere calling you. I really love so and so, and I need to talk to you, Pisces, about them because I don't know what. Source is saying something in your brain from now on is going to click. If somebody is calling you, whether you are physically talking to somebody or not, because you all are wired psychics, you have psychic abilities to let you know something sounds suspicious. How and why are they reaching out to that person directly? Something sounds suspicious. Everybody reaching out to the family and friends and people who are familiar with, something in your brain is going to click. It's not that much gossip and being nosy in the world. That's what's causing a lot of panic this year. People are reaching out to whomever is familiar. We haven't talked to that person. If they haven't talked to somebody in a long time, it's because somebody don't want somebody to know their number. Because somebody don't want somebody to know their number. And that's not always immediately like clear to everybody. That's not always immediately clear to everybody. But yeah, people are starting to learn, hey, why are you calling me? You haven't talked to so-and-so directly? Then they must not want you to talk. They must not want to talk to you. Yeah, somebody wanted somebody felt like they hit the jackpot. Somebody wanted to hit the jackpot emotionally. They wanted to hit the jackpot. So this is right here. So you're grateful that something is now, behind you. And now that you've talked to somebody, now that you and somebody have talked, you feel like now you've hit the jackpot, right? Yeah, now you feel like you've hit the jackpot. Here's a Hierophant card here. Yeah. Somebody was depressed. Somebody was depressed. They were in a very poisonous environment. Somebody felt like, okay, they, you know, and people was preying on people's depression, right? And it was obsessed with forcing somebody to go through some kind of a rebirth. They wanted somebody dead. Okay, so we're crystal clear. That's a death card. They wanted somebody dead. That's why the death card comes out. And so the death card connects us with the judgment card, and it connects us with the tower card. This is the tower card, right? But when the moon moves through Scorpio, that's Scorpio's card, because every card there's a theme to every time it moves through a zodiac sign. It has something to do with sex, and it has something to do with money, but in the unhealthiest way of sex and an unhealthiest way of money when it moves through there, right? So connecting you with sex and money in an unhealthiest way that could cause death, that could bring death to somebody, like a disease or something like that, right? So that's what Source is trying to tell somebody is like, yeah, and somebody's saying they're never going back to something because you see this person's arm is in a sling here. Talking about karmic relationships, right? So yeah, somebody is definitely honoring their goals. Somebody was definitely dealing with a shark energy, a master manipulator. Yeah, somebody was definitely dealing with a master manipulator. Definitely dealing with a master manipulator. Yeah. That was causing nightmares between them and somebody else. Somebody who had mastered their emotions, like dealing with somebody who was energetically tied to them, meaning like a kindred spirit, a soulmate who was actually going through nightmares while they were energetically going through nightmares, while somebody was physically going through nightmares. So if someone was being yelled at, or they were crying or something like that, or if they had experienced some kind of like physical harm, that person could have been in pain, because people don't understand how how kindred spirits really work, how deep kindred spirits can work, and just a disappointment. And I felt like somebody could have just felt like they were in survival mode, but looking at the cards here, Source is saying people are now really starting to understand just how people can be in survival mode. You can tell through a person's voice that they're in survival mode, just like when you train your ear, when you train your stuff, and how this can be, when we see the death card, the judgment card connects us to that, how this can be generational. Pluto is the outermost generational planet, and how things can go through generationally, how nothing just starts at one point. Like generationally, people be operating in fear and anxiety and doubt, and people just can't, it's like, yeah. So Source is saying people are learning how to really train their ears, train when people are being shady about stuff, and people are really learning how to train themselves. But something is somebody is learning how to break these karmic ties within themselves, like break these. When you starting to, people are starting to do the shadow, a lot of people are starting to do the shadow work. A lot of people are starting to do the shadow work. So the next time somebody comes to you and say, well, I haven't talked to your mom or your dad or your cousin or your sister or brother or whatever, okay, then they must not want to talk to you then. Yeah, you're going to start trusting your intuition. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Yeah. Or these exes coming to people. Oh, you remember me? I used to date your brother or sister or whatever. No, I don't remember you. Nope, I don't remember you. If they still talking to you, I don't care how long ago. I haven't talked to them and I don't know how long, but nope, I don't remember you. Well, because I was thinking about reaching out to them. You got their number? Nope, I do not. Confidence is key to your success. Nope, I don't have their number. If you don't have their number, neither do I. So that's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do. Is like when you're dealing with vain and vengeful spirits, it could be two Taurus that's involved in something. But Source is saying, who was married to somebody, you're dealing with some energies where something is, like I said, somebody was obsessed with death, ending somebody. And with telling lies to do it, like to put somebody in survival mode, right? And something runs real deep around sexuality. That's what this is. That's why we got these two people sitting on the rainbow. So that's what I'm seeing here in the cards. Hopefully this has been helpful, for someone. Again, happy full moon, like I said before. I feel like, where's the card here? Somebody's prayer life is increasing. I feel like somebody comes from a family of prayer warriors. I feel like somebody comes from a family of prayer warriors. Looking at your cards here. Yeah, but somebody was, some energies were, the eighth house here, which is the karmic number. Somebody was, obsessed with death through telling lies around death. Whether it was the death of a job, like ending someone's job, ending someone's money, like basically ending someone's spirit here. Like, that's like, okay, we'll end this. We'll end somebody's job. Okay, that means they don't have any money. Getting somebody kicked out of their apartment or their condo or their house, or, getting somebody's car repossessed or something, like ending somebody, just completely ending them. And so that's what I'm saying. Somebody's getting ready to start listening and start really paying attention, keeping your water flushed out on a regular basis, to start listening and paying attention. Okay, somebody coming to you, you don't really know. Even if you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, they ask you questions about so-and-so. No, I don't know. If you haven't talked to them, then they must not want to talk to you. What I say, you see me shuffling the cards. This right here, 3, talking. If they haven't talked to you, they must, then as far as I'm concerned, well, listen, if I got their number or if I can find their number, let's get them on the phone. Hey, I know I haven't talked to you in a long time. I got so-and-so standing right here. Do you want to talk to them? Get your answer right away. Get your answer right away. Heck no. Heck no. They're obsessed. Something wrong. Is a restraining order out on so-and-so? No. They shouldn't be. And they coming through you, back to court. That's going to save a whole lot of people, a whole lot of frustration, tears, and frustration right there. 2 and 3 is 5 is going to save a lot of people lamenting. Haven't talked to that person in a year. They not supposed to be talking to nobody. There was a restraining order out. Let's take it back to court and stop the issues right here and there. So, Source saying you'll be soaking in a bathtub, recharging, resetting. Nobody had time to be talking to no karmic nothing. So, I feel like this, for you, looking at your reading here, you could have had a karmic who was obsessed with lying to people about you. This is what you could have in common with some people who was obsessed with lying about you, Pisces, trying to get some information from people about you. You need to start putting people on notice. Whoever's in your emotional circle, hey, if somebody asks about you and if they got your number, put people on notice. Hey, let's call Pisces right now, and I'm talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth chart, not just your sun sign. Because if you don't have their number, and let's put them on, let's call them right now, because that way they'll know that somebody looking for them or whatever. Let's call them right now to find out. Because you don't know what that person's mental state is. For real, they could be obsessing, like looking for somebody to try to hurt somebody or whatever the case may be. Let's get the person on the phone right now. Find out what's going on. Yeah, so confidence is key to your success. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here because, yeah, something caused two people a complete and total nightmare. That's what I see for you. I'll see you all on the next video. I'll see you in the next video. But yeah, somebody is definitely not going back to, there's a couple of people that's not going back to something because you're back in the saddle again. But that's what karmic relationships are. Some people have some unresolved whatever, some anger issues or some frustration or whatever the case may be. But some people were obsessed with death. There's some energy were obsessed with death, and it's around sexuality. That's what it's around. That's what this right around music and around sexuality. That's what this is. Something around that, and around financial independence, money. So that's what I have for you. And well, this right here, Nine of Pentacles, talking about these two energies about financial independence and something about a lease, feeling like a whole new lease on life, like somehow something having to do with feeling like a whole new lease on life, something about insurance policies too, something having to do with that too. But that's what I have for you. All right, bye.